Jim, hey, ready to record, buddy?
Yes, I am, Chris.
Look, hey, I've got the power!
Chris, anyway, my analytics show that reaction videos on YouTube are super popular right now. So I figured let's do something.
Money on the suit. Okay, sorry, Jim. Go ahead. Yeah. What did you want to say about analytics?
Right, analytics and money. So reaction videos are very popular. I'm embarrassed to admit this. I've never seen this Masters of the Universe 1987 movie. We're going to do something different this week. We're going to do a reaction video with me responding to it. Right off the bat, between you and I can't wait to see like Dolph Lundgren in the pink t-shirt as Prince Adam.
Let me just quickly interrupt you. Just to be clear, they actually did not include that in this movie. That's only the cartoon. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, Chris, I'm assuming the filmmakers were smart enough to like hire Phil Tippett to do like a stop motion badass Cringer battle cat, and he's ravaging through Skeletor's army, taking
Jim.
people out. And
Jim, no, that's not in this movie. Not in this movie.
Oh, no battle cat. Okay. Chris, Mossman and Stinkor, like that's gonna be wild to see them.
Yeah. Oh my God. I hope this isn't getting you upset, but they're definitely not in this movie. This is not the kind of movie that can afford Mossman or Stinkor. No.
Okay, what is this movie? My final prediction.
Yeah.
For the kids, the comedy relief, obviously, Orko. Is he going to be animated? Is he going to be a puppet, Chris, like Yoda? Like Orko?
Jim, I really hope this doesn't upset you, but there is no Orko in this movie.
No Orko?
No.
No Orko, Chris? I can't be part of this, Chris. I can't be part of it.
Oh my God. Oh, Jim is definitely not going to want to hear about Gwildor. That's his problem. Jamie, hit it.
Trash Movie Bonanza with your hosts, Jim and Chris.
Hello, folks. Welcome to Trash Movie Bonanza, a show where two pals take a look at some schlock cinema. Today, I think we have a winner. I'm one half of your hosts. I'm Chris. I also host the show Comic Tropes, but with me as always is...
Guys, what up? Jimmy Jams here, comic book maker, illustrator, president of the Orko fan club, but we'll get to that later. We'll address that later.
I feel like, Jim, there's a chance that today's choice, we might have a lot to talk about because the behind the scenes is at least as interesting as this actual movie. I should point out to folks, today's choice is the 1987 live action film, Masters of the Universe.
Yes. Chris, this movie is the final nail in the coffin of the Canon Pictures enterprise. Their big
We've
run.
We've watched a good
had.
amount, haven't we, of Canon movies on this show?
Yeah, I mean, we're both Canon fans. I think our fans of this show are. They're such a particular aesthetic of 80s movies, but Canon always had this formula of make really affordable action movies and make a profit. Mm-hmm. And in their last years of existing, they got a little too big for their britches, and in 1 year they made Over the Top, Superman 4, and then this movie, and all three of those movies, huge bombs. And it basically ended the company. Yep. So I was going to say the exact same thing that when you started the show by saying the behind the scenes for this movie is so fascinating. It's better than the movie. Like the movie's fine. I haven't seen it in a while. I watched it last night. It's fine.
It's kind of, but it's weird. It's a weird movie though. Like what's weird missing?
And it's too little too late for the popularity of He-Man.
I wanted to sort of establish that, just some quick facts for folks. 1982, Mattel launches their He-Man and the Masters of the Universe toy line. 1982. From 1983 to 1985, new episodes of a cartoon to promote the toy. But the 83 to 85. This film came out in 1987. Toy lines for kids generally turn over kind of fast because kids grow up. This is like 5 years after it debuted. That's actually kind of slow. They should have rushed this at least 1 year earlier, if not two.
Yeah. Because it's
kind of late. I didn't even, to be honest, like I do want to ask you about your background with it, but I never even heard about this movie being in the theaters. This was one of the first movies I ever rented because I was like, huh? Yeah. I never remember any ads for this.
Well, I was going to say, man, me and my friends chose not to see this in the theater because we just weren't into He-Man anymore. And so this was either seeing it on cable or a VHS rental. But the peak of He-Man, of me like collecting the toys, and the toys came with the little comics, and my interest in He-Man and the animated show, the peak of it was like 85, right? Like 84, 85.
So, but if I'm just being honest real quick, I never had a single He-Man toy. I just wasn't that into He-Man as a kid.
Okay. Yeah.
I actually kind of like now as an adult, I kind of love how weird it is in the mythology. It's kind of like Jack Kirby on acid, but in some ways, like it's got that sort of weird mythology. I kind of like that, but I didn't have it. So as a kid, you did have a couple of the toys or something?
I did, but I wasn't like, I was more of a G.I. Joe and Transformers guy.
Same.
Like I think you were too. And
I was.
So my top of the list was always G.I. Joe, then Transformers, and, you know, any superhero stuff, Marvel, DC characters I could get my hands on. But He-Man was like Mask. Like it was there in the 80s. It had a cartoon. It had pretty cool toys, but it just wasn't, I wasn't a fanatical fan of it. So this is the effort to make this as a feature. The timing was completely off.
The timing was off. Canon spent $22 million. Technically, Canon didn't spend $22 million. At least half of that came from Mattel. And I think that Canon kind of was slow to put up their half of the money. They kind of kept squeezing money out of Mattel to make this movie. And even then, when we talk about the movie, at the end of the movie, it's really obvious they actually run out of money. And it's like, we'll get to it, but like they filmed some stuff super cheap just to have a conclusion. It's hilarious. 22 million though, the movie cost, it only made 17 million. That's a bomb. That's a bomb. And it, like Jim said, this was basically 1987 was basically the last year that version of Canon Films existed. A couple things trickled out after that, but they sold themselves in like 88 or something.
Yes. Yeah.
So this movie it's just weird. It's just weird.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't, even after we saw it either on cable or whatever, it doesn't feel like He-Man. It doesn't feel like what we knew as kids as the characters and the worlds and the mythology. And that is very noticeable when you're young. Like when you're older, you can watch it. Like I can watch it now as a schlock Canon movie and I enjoy it. It's fine.
Yeah, I can enjoy it.
It's a fun action movie, whatever. But when you're a kid, that mythology almost means more to you, where it's like, you can't fool me. This just doesn't feel like He-Man.
And at the same time, if you went into this blind, if you know nothing about Masters of the Universe, you're going to be lost for the first act because they do assume you have a certain knowledge of He-Man. We'll get into breaking it down and telling you trivia, folks. I just want to real quick talk about the director, Gary Goddard.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the cool part of Gary or the scary part of Gary first?
Well, I'll say first of all, Gary, this is his first and last feature that he made. And he got hired because he made a really impressive live action Conan the Barbarian stage show that I think was at Universal Studios or something.
Yeah. He did a lot of stuff at theme parks because he also apparently directed the T2 3D film ride.
Oh shit! I didn't know
Terminator
that.
2
thing.
Yeah, so anyway, just
Okay. But also a man after our own heart. Huge Jack Kirby fan. Huge comic book fan. Wanted to tried to reach out to Kirby to get him involved in this movie. Wound up getting William Stout involved as a production designer. William brought along Mobius to do some stuff. So there is this lineage of comics and really talented people working on this movie. But then, Chris, I'll let you take it from here with the rest of Gary.
I won't quote the whole thing, but he wrote a letter to John Byrne in John Byrne's Next Men number 26, where he said, this movie was inspired by a lot of Jack Kirby. New Gods was a big one, but also some of the stuff from Thor and Fantastic Four and stuff like that. So he said he wanted to dedicate it to Kirby, but the studio didn't let him do that. He wanted to hire Kirby on to be a designer. They said that's too expensive. So all the money went to the cast, which admittedly is a good cast. That's part of what's weird about this movie is that it's pretty well cast for a 1987, schlock movie.
Yeah.
But here's the scary part. Gary Goddard no longer works in Hollywood, folks. He was hard canceled in the 2010s. He was a good friend of Bryan Singer. And there are a lot of, I'll try to be YouTube polite, so I'm using initials here, SA allegations that he preyed on young men in the industry, including pretty famous actor Anthony Edwards from both ER and Revenge of the Nerds. He said, Gary Goddard did some really bad stuff. So not a good guy. Yeah. Not a good guy, apparently.
I knew about some of that, but I didn't know about the Bryan Singer connection. And
they were best buds, which it's icky. It's icky. That stuff all came out decades after this, but it makes it hard to root for this guy in some ways. I'm like, oh, cool. He liked Jack Kirby. Yeah, and then I kept reading up on him and I was like, oh,
I know.
Everybody likes Jack Kirby.
Yeah. And Chris, our old buddy, Dave Odell, the scriptwriter for Supergirl, which we reviewed. Guys, go back and watch our Supergirl review. One of the screenwriters on this movie. Squirt? Watch Supergirl. That was, Supergirl was a lot of fun. But this was fun too. It's just, this is a strange movie. It legit just sort of starts. Although the start, you can tell that it's cheap because Castle Grayskull is not a miniature. It is just a painting. It's a straight up painting, an illustration.
The main place that everybody's fighting over and that all the action takes in, there's one set, a throne room, and the establishing shot is just a painting. Not great, because it doesn't feel very real.
Yeah, I made a note I did time codes for Jamie, and I made a note of Castle Grayskull illustration doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look too bad, but it is a full-blown. It's a full-blown illustration because they just didn't want to build the model.
But there's no depth, right, Jim?
Yeah, it's just a flat shot of the.
Yeah, and then the credits. We shouldn't include the music because we'll probably get copyright claimed. We got to be real careful with this one. But it's just the Superman credits. So it starts so sort of cheap and rip-off.
It's Bill Conti who did the Rocky music, for the Rocky theme. Did the music for this, but the opening credits, the titles themselves swooping into space and the sound of it is completely biting the 70s Superman movie.
Like
so
there could be a lawsuit. It's so close.
Yeah. It's so close that it's like, how did they get away with this?
And I remember as a kid when I watched this, I was confused. And I was a little confused again when I watched this as an adult, just because the movie just sort of starts. And I guess they sort of say that Skeletor has won, but the way that we're shown that is like there's this huge sort of desert with like 3 or 4 army extras just sort of like milling around. And we're supposed to think that that's Skeletor rounding up the good guys.
Right. The Eternians are.
But we're not like introduced with any dialogue or a close up of anybody, you know, like in chains or anything. It's very strange.
Yeah. It's like Skeletor has successfully taken over Castle Grayskull.
After all this time, Grayskull is ours.
Oh! And I'll be honest, as somebody that's not a real expert in He-Man, like I said, I didn't have the toys. I never quite fully understood why everybody wants Castle Grayskull. Is it because that sorceress character lives there, or is there something else about it that's special?
I think
I don't know.
If you take over Castle Grayskull, that gives you control of Eternia and allows you to become the ultimate master of the universe. Like you are the one. You have the power. You know. And there was also something in the cartoon and the toys where if He-Man and Skeletor combine their swords together, that is the key that opens Castle Grayskull or something. I don't know. But
okay, the movie doesn't do that, right? Like
no, not at all. Not at all.
Okay. Because I was like, what? I didn't catch any of that.
Yeah. Someone can comment below. Someone out there is going to know the absolute He-Man mythology that is being basically discarded in this live action version.
Yeah, I'll say that as somebody that doesn't necessarily feel a loyalty, the thing I like the most in this movie is absolutely actor Frank Langella as Skeletor. He walks in, you know, you see him from behind, so it's a good reveal when he finally turns around. He takes this movie very seriously. I liked him. I liked him a lot.
Great. He steals the show. He's the main.
You liked it too. Good. I'm glad I'm not crazy.
I think he's the selling point of the movie. Dude, I was having flashbacks to Invasion USA, which we just reviewed, which is also canon, where the actor playing the main villain is so much more interesting than the main hero.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's also Dolph Lundgren, in his defense, didn't speak great English. He did Rocky IV before this. He has like literally 9 lines of dialogue in Rocky IV.
And this is his first time starring as a lead. Like he'd been right. He had a tiny role in a which James Bond movie was it? I want to say,
was it Living Daylights?
No, I think it was the one before that. I think it was A View to a Kill. That was with Grace Jones, right? Because I think he was dating Grace Jones. And so like he got a role as like a henchman in one scene. And Rocky IV was like definitely a big debut for him. But this time he had dialogue, which the director hated how he sounded and wanted to like have somebody else redub him. But Lundgren he's a smart guy in real life. He's actually like really, really smart. And he had it put into his contract that he would definitely be doing his own dialogue. So he dubbed his own dialogue. It still sounds a little off on certain lines.
Yeah.
Gwildor, we must get back to Eternia.
Yeah, there's parts of the movie where you're watching it and you're like, that's the take that they chose to keep in the movie.
He's sort of become a pretty good character actor in a lot. I honestly like find him entertaining. Like, I don't know, since maybe somewhere in the 90s. He looks right. He does look like a good He-Man.
Yeah.
He doesn't really do anything as a character. He's around. He's kind of flat. It's not
Right.
great. It's not great.
And man, the weirdest thing, the decision making of the film is we're never given an origin or a backstory to He-Man the character.
Exactly.
He's just Guy. He's just Guy with sword, and there's nothing to latch onto. There's nothing really to care about. And Skeletor has more depth and more emotion and he's way more interesting and poetic in the way he speaks and the way he commands his legion of, henchmen and stuff. And He-Man's just Guy with sword. It's kind of a bummer.
I agree. You know what's different is Skeletor has motivation. We know what he wants. He wants to, it's crazy, but he wants to rule the universe and stuff. And when we meet him, he takes the throne room and he somehow hollow projects himself to the whole planet saying like, I've won. And then He-Man is just sort of watching that. That's our introduction to him. He's just sort of, and then He-Man fights some stormtrooper type guys. But we never really know what He-Man wants other than to do good, right? But why does he want to do that? Like, why does he want to, I don't know, like, give us something.
Yeah. Like, dude, when we're introduced to like Man-at-Arms and Tila, there's no
they just walk
downtime with the characters where Man-at-Arms says like, listen, He-Man, I know there's a lot on your shoulders as the protector of Eternia, or you're the son of the original king. There's nothing of like, guys, you could have done one or two lines of Man-at-Arms or someone saying, this is kind of what He-Man is. And they do nothing.
That's why I mean, it feels like you need to be familiar with He-Man already to sort of just get up and running, even though there's lots of characters and ideas missing. They also don't replace that with anything. There's nothing that explains what He-Man's role is. There's nothing in this movie that says he's the son of the king, right? Or that he's been given this sacred responsibility to protect Eternia or safeguard some sort of power. There's nothing that's explained. I'm not somebody that wants lots of dialogue per se, but honestly, like one or two lines, we obviously just sort of set out what it could be right here in a few seconds.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I bring it up because like later in the movie, and we'll jump around, whatever, but later in the movie when the heroes are on Earth and they take a break to eat like a bucket of fried chicken, you could have had Man-at-Arms and Tila being like, He-Man's out there. I hope the responsibility of, like I said before, like, say something about what He-Man is and what his role is. And instead it's just them. Tila doesn't know what bones are. She's like, what's this white stick? I'm like, you don't know what a bone is? I'm jumping all over, but I'm just,
warrior. And Man-at-Arms is like, it's meat. And she's like, she's disgusted by the idea of eating meat. But so is Gwildor, the alien we'll introduce in a little while. Anyway, He-Man sees Skeletor say, I've taken over Castle Grayskull. And we get our first little fight scene. Every fight scene in this movie feels the same. He-Man pretty much never uses super strength. He uses his sword a tiny bit, but mostly it's people shooting laser pistols at each other, including He-Man. Like, He-Man shoots a lot of lasers. I didn't watch a lot of He-Man. I don't remember him running around with primarily a gun.
No, I don't think ever. And that's the other thing I wanted to bring up, man, is in the cartoon and playing with the toys as a kid, He-Man was almost like a superhero type character where Prince Adam is the secret identity. He transforms into He-Man and he has super strength and is this buff guy that can like throw boulders and stuff. And in this movie, he's just a guy that fights. Like there's no there's no hint that there's something special or magical about him as He-Man, as this warrior. At the end of the movie, he pushes over a pillar.
Yeah, but I sort of felt like Dolph Lundgren in an emergency could do that too.
Right. And But that was just like a one-off kind of display of super strength.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really do much else. And like you said, there's so much like laser gun play in this.
Almost every fight is just they whip out laser guns. Also, Skeletor has these troops, these guys in black suits that feel like they kind of look like in Star Wars, the Death Star guys that work on the laser. So all the fights to me felt like they were trying to do Star Wars more than anything else. I guess, that's what had come out somewhat recently and been successful, but it didn't feel like He-Man to me.
Right.
He-Man feels like superhero and brawling and gods, not Star Wars. But this movie is kind of doing Star Wars. We instantly are introduced pretty early on to the comic relief, and it ain't Orko. Sorry, Jim. Do you know why they did Gwildor instead of Orko? I didn't know if you read about it.
Budget-wise, could they just not figure out how to do Orko? Because I was
100%.
joking, but I was serious. Like,
100%.
Would he have been a puppet? Would he have been stop motion? Because that does add a lot. Orko floats, and they legit just felt like they couldn't do that. So they just made a mask and put it on pretty well-known dwarf actor Billy Barty. Billy Barty
is kind of cool for what he is, but I think kids would be very confused. Like, is Gwildor supposed to be Orko?
Right.
Because he's still like this short guy that he doesn't do magic. He does like technology, but still he's sort of the comic relief character.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what to do.
But his technology is magical. Like, he figured out how to open like dimensional portals with the MacGuffin, the key device.
The cosmic key is the MacGuffin in this movie, which can open portals.
I call it the cosmic key. It is the most unique key in the universe.
Yeah.
But really, it's so that they could set most of this movie, like before the 10-minute mark, they're on Earth, modern day Earth.
This is an excuse to set everything on Earth. And guys, get used to hearing about this key. Like, this key is such a MacGuffin that I would use this movie as like a prime example of this is what it means to have a MacGuffin in a movie, where literally every character is like, where's the key? We got to find the key. We have to go over here
what's
to
this
get the key.
Do you want to play with the key? There's so many scenes of people being awed and amazed by the key.
Dude, there's a scene that made me laugh out loud where Courtney Cox is describing the key to Dolph Lundgren, where she's like, it's bright, it has lights on it, makes noise, and Dolph Lundgren's like, that's it. That's the key.
Yeah, I know. He just agrees way too fast. I'm like, you don't know this planet. Like, she might be describing, I don't know, like a lamp for all you know. And he's like, no, that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Have you seen it? It's this large. It has lights on it.
Wait a minute, I have seen that. My boyfriend and I found this thing that had all these patterns of light and this music coming out of it.
That's it. Where is it?
That's funny. They meet Gwildor. They go to his home where he's created the cosmic key. And he explains, and you have to listen a little closely to the dialogue because this part is a little important. Evil Lynn, Skeletor's lieutenant, she took his cosmic key, but he also has a prototype. So basically the good guys and the bad guys each have a cosmic key. The bad guys instantly are banging down on his door, and he's just like, oh, we should use my tunnel that goes into Castle Grayskull secretly.
Yes.
Great security for this castle.
Yeah.
This
Very
random
convenient.
guy is like, oh, by the way, I've got a secret tunnel. And so, like, who is it? Who do we have? We have He-Man, Gwildor, Teela, and Man-at-Arms. And that's it, right? Those are the only good guys?
Yep.
And they just... I don't know. I guess what else are you going to do? They go to Castle Grayskull, and they're instantly ambushed. So, of course, they use the key, and they escape at random. punch in anything.
Yeah. That they wind up on Earth basically by chance.
Right.
You know,
I'm not against the idea. I'm not against the idea, actually, of having a bunch of it on Earth, because there is a portion where it's like, this world is so silly and weird that having some of it on something we can recognize with stakes, like, hey, the danger to the people of Earth if this war is brought there. I'm not against any of that. But it still feels cheap. I will say that. It feels very cheap what they've done. Yeah. My understanding is that He-Man's mother is from Earth in like the toy and the cartoon and stuff like that. So like that's established that like Earth is real and Eternia is real, and there's that, like, they can go back and forth somehow. The movie doesn't mention that, but I'm just saying that, like, that's my understanding.
Yeah. It you know. Oh, go ahead.
Did any of the Gwildor comic relief stuff work for you? Because, you know, this is the point where, oh, he's all wet, or he tries to talk to a cow with moos.
Oh. Moo? Moo. Gwildor.
I'm going.
Not really, but I understand the function of the character, and I also respect Billy Barty, and I just think it's funny that like he's in the suit and giving it his all. And also, man, I saw that he was like 73 years old when he did this movie.
He's up there.
So I mean, he's wearing prosthetics and he's doing his whole shtick, and it's respectable to be like, this guy was a character actor, a working actor to the end,
right?
And he's also in UHF with Weird Al Yankovic, which I love. So
was he? I haven't watched UHF in a while. It's not coming to me. But yeah, Billy Barty was in a lot of stuff, and he formed like I think a guild or a union of some sort for you know, little people actors. So he's got some important history in Hollywood. You're right. Like, for a guy that's getting up there in years, he does have energy. It's just, and the prosthetics are like an okay look for Gwildor, but it's the same thing as like Ninja Turtles 3, where the mask is so cheap that like the lips barely move while he's talking. You just see the mouth behind the lips, and he's like,
right,
yeah, let's go do this and then the other thing.
Yeah. It's like you can tell they were limited with how many close-ups they were going to give him.
It's just such a cheap movie. Every scene sort of gives it away. And then every once in a while they do something with like a big explosion. And you're like, yeah, that's where Canon spent their money, is on explosions and stuff.
Well, we know, again, Invasion USA. Like, they love blowing shit up.
Oh, my God. That movie, the explosions were pretty cool in Invasion USA. To give it, they blew up a whole real town.
Yes. You know what's funny, man, is I think, and I've seen this on documentary, so it's not my original thought, but it seems like Golem and Globus, they were so passionate about actually making movies and wheeling and dealing and getting the money and stuff. But the actual product, the finished movie, I think their attitude was like, it's fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
He-Man, it's a big guy with a sword. We got the guy, we got Dolph Lundgren. He's got the muscles, we got the sword. It's fine. And there you go, like Chris has. But it's like, yeah, but there's other things that make a movie work. There's other things that you need to kind of figure out, you know.
It's like they did it from a very mercenary type of point of view. They were like, this is popular, so let's try to do our version of it. You know, people like Schwarzenegger getting popular, we'll get Chuck Norris. Close enough. Right. There were a couple popular Superman movies, and we can get the rights for cheap. We'll make Superman 4.
Yeah. The thing they got the most right was making Breakin' when breakdancing was still red hot. The timing of them releasing that, because I think that was one of their most financial movies ever. They hit the nail on the head with the release of that. Like, they
Right.
They were so lucky. And Breakin' 2 didn't do as great for them, the Electric Boogaloo, where that title comes from.
Well, also neither did The Apple. They tried to do a big musical thing again with The Apple, and that was a big bomb. So it's like, that's why Canon didn't last that long.
Yeah. Well, we got to do The Apple at some point. Oof. That's a surreal
That's a
movie.
Challenge. That's such a trippy movie.
That's a bugged out movie. Yeah. If you guys haven't seen The Apple.
Roller skating, rock and roll, but also like some sort of religious metatext to everything.
Yeah. There's some commentary about hippies in it. I don't know.
I don't know. This needed some sort of He-Man needed some sort of mythology explained to us. I would have liked to just understand some of these characters a little better since I wasn't an expert. Oh, I will say this. We get now introduced to Courtney Cox, right?
Thanks. Come again.
Sure thing, ma'am.
You know, I never thought I'd feel sad about doing that for the very last time.
Don't worry, Julie. They got fast food in Jersey.
Her first real movie. She's young, 23 years old. She looks like she could pass for even younger. And there was another actor from Friends, though. You know, Courtney Cox, famous for Friends. Did you know who else from Friends was in it?
The Sorceress.
Yes.
Plays later Courtney Cox's mother in Friends.
Yeah, throughout all the seasons. The actress's name is Christina Pickles. She plays the Sorceress, who Skeletor has captured, and you know, He-Man and everybody escaped, but they have to get back to rescue her for some reason. But yeah, like I thought that was a little funny. All of a sudden I was like, oh, wait a minute. That's Monica's mom. And Monica's in this. I was like, oh, that's a weird little coincidence.
Yeah.
I love to imagine that like one day on the Friends set, they were like, boy, Masters of the Universe, weird choice for us, right? Like, yeah.
It's like, wow, we've really, really moved on in a majorly successful way from Canon. Like we're on the #1 show on TV right now. And Courtney Cox, I was a big MTV watcher as a kid. So we all knew her from the Bruce Springsteen video. And, you know, when we were kids, we didn't know that was staged. We just thought it was live.
Really?
We thought it was live concert footage. And my older sister was always like, that girl is so lucky. Like Bruce Springsteen just pulls her out of the crowd and she's doing the 80s dance with Bruce Springsteen on stage. And she's super cute. She's a super cute girl.
She is, which makes it kind of sad, like what she's done with plastic surgery and stuff like that. Oh, she looks so weird now. I'm sorry.
It's a weird thing that women in Hollywood have to... I don't know. I don't get it at all, man.
But at the same time, sometimes people do have plastic surgery, and I'm like, yeah, you know, it's different, but I get that makes them feel good, so I'm okay with it. It's just that, like, what I think is tough is in Hollywood, not to like make fun of people that do plastic surgery. It's just that if you change your look too much, you ruin your brand. You know, somebody like Jennifer Grey, like kind of disappeared for a while because she changed her look too much, you know?
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
Anyway,
it's
tangent.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. It's funny. I used to see her and David Arquette at they're big patrons of the arts, and in LA when I lived there, I would go to gallery shows. They're huge Kent Williams fans, so whenever Kent went to a gallery show, they would go and they would buy like multiple paintings from Kent. And I think they bought stuff from Jason Sean Alexander as well, but they have great taste in art and illustration.
That's cool to hear. That's really cool to hear.
And Kent always told me that they were like really, really cool people. So
I love hearing that.
Yeah.
I was a fan of Friends, and I'm a fan of the Scream franchise. So Courtney Cox has been in a bunch of stuff that I actually really like. But yeah, she's super young here. This is her first movie role. And her character is a girl that's really sad because her parents just died. So she wants to start over somewhere new. She's like, she hasn't even in this movie graduated from high school yet. And she's planning on moving across the country. Her boyfriend Kevin wants her to stay, but Julie is so sad she wants to just start over.
Yeah.
Definitely running away from your problems. I guess this movie sort of gives that character a character arc, sort of.
Yeah. Is it set up at all? Like, so she's leaving, but do we know, is she going to stay with family? She's just going off on her own at like 17 years old?
Exactly. Like if she was supposed to be her age of 23, I'd go, yeah, okay, I guess. But in a scene, in a moment, she and Kevin go to the high school so he can practice his keyboards. And she's like, yeah, I'm not going to stay for graduation. I was like, oh, she's supposed to be really young. I was like, she doesn't have like an aunt or an uncle that's like, hey, maybe you shouldn't be moving to New York at age 17 or whatever it is.
Yeah. Well, at the fried chicken joint where she works, the one other waitress tries to give her advice.
Yeah. She's like,
and
you like your boyfriend, like, don't go.
Yeah. And before they go to the high school, they go to the grave, the cemetery, to visit her parents. And that's when they find the MacGuffin. They find the key in the graveyard.
And they just start playing with it.
And they just start messing around with it.
And it makes cool music, but it also literally starts to activate a portal over their head. And this is the reaction of everybody that then sees that afterwards, because Kevin shows it to a guy at a music store, and they show it to a detective later, and it starts to create like the portal, and people's reaction is like,
what's that?
Yeah, what's that?
And also Kevin being a musician, when he first grabs the key, he thinks it's a synthesizer from Japan.
A Japanese synthesizer. And you think like, okay, I guess, and then he takes it to the music store and the guy's like, oh yeah, I know what this is. It's from Japan. It's a synthesizer. I was like, you already did that joke.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that's what involves Julie and Kevin into the drama, is that they're carrying around the key. Kevin, by the way, people watching this will be screaming, why haven't you mentioned it yet? Just a piece of trivia. He was a Star Trek actor. He was on the show Voyager as a regular cast member. Robert Duncan McNeil. Don't know a lot about him aside from that, to be honest. And I didn't watch Voyager, but I just want to acknowledge it so that we don't get comments going like, how come you didn't mention that?
Yeah. I mean, he's good in this.
He's likable enough.
He's boyfriend guy.
He's boyfriend guy, but at least he has, he cares about his girlfriend in a real way. He puts himself in danger a couple times to help her. And second, he's got an interest outside of that. He likes music. And of course, that's going to come into play by the end, but it's something. Like, you tell me, like, what is He-Man like? I don't know.
Right.
Even Man-at-Arms, right. I know that he likes ribs. I know that Man-at-Arms likes ribs.
I was just going to say, we at least know Man-at-Arms likes Earth food.
Good food.
And Tila's Tila is a vegetarian, I guess. She's like, oh, they eat meat off of bones here?
Yeah. Gwildor's a weirdo that like tries weird things. But who's He-Man? I don't know, man. He's in some ways, Julie's almost the main character over He-Man.
Dude, I was going to say, so the intro of Julie and Kevin is like such a trope of this style of movie of now here's the Earth people that the audience relates to. Like,
here's the Marvin, Wendy, and Superdog,
I don't know if you call it like they're the surrogates for the audience or whatever, but it's like,
the viewpoint character.
Yeah, now you're going on the adventure with them and because dude, He-Man becomes He-Man becomes a secondary character in his own movie, basically.
Each of these characters kind of can disappear for big chunks because He-Man will sort of go off and do his own thing. Man-at-Arms, Teela, and Gwildor will be here, and Julie and Kevin will be here, and then they each sort of separate and combine. But it means that like there are chunks where some of these characters are kind of missing for a good 10 minutes or so here and there. And it's like, who am I following? Who am I really following? It's not really He-Man. We're following the Cosmic Key.
Right.
Which is sometimes with the good guys. Sometimes it's just with Kevin.
Dude, that's so funny. The idea of like the protagonist of this movie is the
an
Cosmic
inanimate
Key.
object.
Inanimate. More charming than Dolph Lundgren, if you think about it.
Hey, I'm not an inanimate object. I can move. Yeah, I just love that people were lightly amused at the portal. They're never that like, whoa, it's a portal. What the fuck?
Yeah. And so there's this great excuse to separate Julie and Kevin because we need Julie to be alone to be attacked by the bad guys when they show up on Earth.
Oh, yeah.
So they're hanging out in the gymnasium and Kevin's like, I'm going to go right now to show my buddy who owns a record store this crazy new instrument. And Julie says, you know what? I'm just going to sit here alone and just stay here in the gym. And the boyfriend's like, okay, I'll see you in like 15 minutes.
Normal. Yeah. I'm just going to sit here and drink club soda in the corner by myself. It's so boring. No, I got to say goodbye to the school since I'm not staying for graduation. Yeah, sure. That's a believable motivation. Whatever. Got it. Yeah. You could have just said, let's separate for 15 minutes. And I'd go, sure. Same difference.
Yes.
But this is where we really start to see that this movie is not going to give us what we expect because Skeletor is like, let's not send everybody to get this cosmic key yet. It might be a trap. He-Man's smart. He tells Evelyn, put together like a scouting team. And she's like, got it. Here's 4 mercenaries. Do we get Trapjaw and Merman and Triclops?
No, we don't.
We get like the equivalent of like what's lying around that we can like make into a monster.
Yeah.
You do get Beast Man.
I was just going to say, we do get Beast Man.
He doesn't talk. And he looks like Sasquatch from like the $6 Million Man.
Yes.
But you get Beast Man. You get Blade, who's just a guy. Well, he's a guy with swords.
Guy's not the vampire hunter Blade. Not Wesley Snipes.
Nowhere near that interesting. Just a guy with some swords. Good luck going up against He-Man. Just guy with sword. Something called Saurod, who's I don't know what Saurod was. Saurod was some sort of lizard with armor, but there's nothing to Saurod. And then Karg. Karg is sort of the main henchman who just looks like an evil witch. I don't know how else to describe. Yeah.
The big white pompadour. Yeah, the Marge Simpson hair almost.
Right. And sharp teeth. Yeah, Karg. Good old Karg. I don't think Karg was an action figure before the movie anyway.
I have selected your finest warriors. Blade. Sarad. The Beast Man. And Karg.
A curious quartet.
Do you feel like this is one of those things of like these creatures were just sort of recycled costumes from like they got these from Roger Corman or something like from a different movie and they just added some new bits and pieces to some new appliances or something. And
I think that they cover up a lot of costumes by having them wear capes or like sort of chest armor type pieces so that like you don't have to have like a full top to bottom reptilian or furry monster type suit. There's a lot of stuff covered up. Yeah. He-Man's accurate. Man-at-Arms is mostly accurate, I think. Skeletor works. Evil Lyn might be the best costume now that I think of it. Evil Lyn was like Meg Foster in that role. Meg Foster has the most piercing eyes you've ever seen.
Is awesome.
Yeah, those are her legit eyes. Super pale blue. She was in They Live.
Oh God, yeah, she's awesome.
She
rocks it in this movie. Her and Frank Langella are like two of the best things in this movie, I think.
Yeah, you get a sense that she kind of like really likes Skeletor and wants to impress him. Like she wants to be with Skeletor. And Skeletor kind of knows that and manipulates her because he's got scenes where he's just like, like, I rely on you. It like legit, there's a scene. He's like, I rely on you. I need you to do this. But you can tell that he is really just manipulating her to go do the dirty grunt work. Yeah. And she doesn't necessarily see that. She's blinded. So there's something subtle between those two characters. They're the best characters in the movie, in my opinion.
With Julie being stuck at the school, it's the excuse for her to get attacked by herself. She's on the run, and then He-Man busts in and comes to her rescue. So this is her and He-Man
in the alleys behind the school, which all of a sudden turn into like downtown LA, like it's almost Skid Row. They run out of the high school and they're instantly in this like really suspect alley.
Yes. Yeah.
Whereas everything else we see is like very residential, like suburban, like houses and stuff like that.
I was going to say, and then the rest of the stuff on Earth is just shot in like Burbank or Sherman Oaks. Yeah. It's just in the burbs, which is fine. It's okay.
It's also a little pathetic that these 4 henchmen can't catch one teenager. I get that she's the hero, but she never is quite in danger. She eludes all of them.
Yes. Yeah.
Pretty easily. And I'm like, these guys are pathetic.
Yeah.
They're just stupid. I don't know.
Skeletor, they sent the wrong 4 henchmen to Earth.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say, too, we're also introduced to one of my other favorite characters in this movie, which is the main cop.
Yeah.
The principal from Back to the Future.
Actor
what's
James
his name?
Tolkien.
Lubick?
Or Lubbock.
Yeah.
One of them.
Who, for some reason, is like this gritty New York talking detective guy, like, hey, what are you doing, kid? What is this? What's going on?
It's kind of interesting. He really like comes in, more than a third of the way through, but becomes a main character for the rest of this movie. James Tolkien was on a little bit of a run. He'd had the Back to the Future movies. He did Top Gun. And he did this. Yeah. So like within like this like 3 to 4 year period, he was getting all these roles, and then he sort of faded away. Like I just never saw him too much after like the 3rd Back to the Future movie. I don't remember seeing him much.
Always played the gruff, hard ass character.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And was really good at it. I
enjoy seeing him. I like this character just fine, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing that's odd about it is so like Kevin runs up because, he saw fire engines. He's worried about Julie. And Lubbock is like, you're coming with me if you're so, he's like, are you arresting me? He's like, no, you're going to show me her house. We're going to find your girlfriend. And I was like, okay, the cop's gruff, but he's doing the right thing. Kevin goes along. They walk into Julie's house, right? Kevin's got a key. They walk into her house and Courtney Cox happens to call the house right at that time. This was before cell phones, so you just went with coincidences like that.
Yeah, she's on a payphone.
But I didn't understand this. Kevin pretends that he's talking to somebody else, not her. And I was like, why don't you tell the cop, like, oh, good news, I'm talking to her? I mean, it's the cops.
Not so fast, kid. Hello?
Kevin, thank God it's you.
Julie's not here right now.
Kevin, this is Julie. What's going on?
Well, it's good to hear your voice too, but I've been really worried about Julie.
Kevin, is someone there? Are you okay?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I never understood any of that.
He doesn't trust the cop to know everything that's going on, but then why does he lead the cop to her house?
Right. I didn't understand any of that. Like where he's just like, Julie's like, Kevin, like I'm over here. And he's like, oh yeah. Julie's not here right now. And she's like,
right.
Huh? And I was just, I didn't understand it, but he misleads Lubbock. there's a good line around here where the good guys restate the plot, that sort of modern Netflix thing. They go, "Our only hope of defeating Skeletor is to find the cosmic key."
Yes.
Nobody's talked about anything but that, so I got it.
Yeah.
And it's like no emotion or anything. What do you call it? The bad guys go back to Skeletor empty-handed, and he just kills the Sorod one.
Yeah, I love that.
I did too, but I was also like, why is he getting blamed?
Skeletor's pissed. I know. It
gave the movie a little bit of stakes, considering there's not a lot of death in this movie. There's certainly no blood, and that's fine. But it gave it a little menace. Like, if Skeletor's mad, he can vaporize you.
Oh, for sure. And he does. It's like one of you bad guys has to die. You gotta get rid of somebody.
And this is one of those scenes where he manipulates Evelyn. He's like, I want you personally now to oversee this and get this key.
Yeah. I love this because I have a note that like this is like emo Evelyn and Skeletor, where they're sort of quietly huddled up with each other. And he's like, look, you know what we need to do. And I'm like, this is like this is one of the deepest scenes in the whole movie.
I agree. It's that scene where like he's sitting on his throne room and he's like sort of got his like hands on her shoulders while she's kneeling. And he's like, I need you.
Why is there still resistance? The people must know that I am Grayskull. I depend upon you for these things. You know that.
The people wait for He-Man. They believe that he will return to lead them. For you to rule completely, he must be destroyed.
He-Man.
It works. It's cool.
It's so cool. Frank Langella took this role because his son was into He-Man, and he didn't phone it in. He didn't phone it in at all.
Oh, gave it his all.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Because I have a note here. It's like, I literally wrote, fucking fantastic acting for this thing. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So Evelyn goes to, the alleyway that they last saw He-Man, and she has this scanner that can show you the past. I was like, that is useful. That is amazing.
Yeah. I'm going to address this at the end of the movie too, because it's like, wait, the bad guys have time manipulating technology? Wouldn't this be part of the movie? We'll get to it.
I don't know. I just got a kick out of that. We also we start getting a little bit of special effects finally. We've had lasers, but that's and a little bit of the portal, but there's not a lot of special effects yet. But now that the bad guys are on Earth, every once in a while they're going around on a skiff, and it just sort of like, it's like sort of I guess a green screen or compositing type effect, but we get like little things floating around the screen a lot, and the movie keeps doing that more and more. They seem very amused that they can make people move across the screen in the air.
Yes, yeah, and it becomes very obvious the limited budget when He-Man jumps on one of the moving skiffs, and there's a shot of it's literally you guys a toy on a skiff just moving with a wire.
Yeah.
And it's in the movie. Your brain will see it. You will know that this is not a real person or a stunt man.
This is the sci-fi technology that we get in the movie. We get the scanner. We get little floating skiffs. We also get something that I thought was incredible. The bad guys find Kevin. He doesn't have the key anymore because the detective took it. But they find Kevin because he was just with it a second ago, and they put a collar on that makes him tell the truth. That's how they interrogate him. So they figure out some information, and then they leave with the collar on, and I go oh, is the truth-telling collar a dime a dozen? Yeah, you can leave that behind. We really don't. We've got more. We've got plenty more at home.
They don't take it back.
That seems like an amazing piece of technology. You put a collar around someone and it forces them to tell the truth. And they're just like, yeah, that's okay. We've got more.
That's so funny, dude. Dude, that could create a whole other franchise like Terminator where this one piece of technology that was left behind now changes the course of all of human history. This is like...
you say that, and you know what? You're right. Like, because that does just sort of get dropped on the floor in the house and left behind. There's all those stormtroopers with their laser guns that are constantly getting killed and left behind in like the music store and the high school and stuff like that. Like the technology that they're dropping and leaving behind would just totally change Earth.
It's like the corporation in Terminator. I'm drawing a blank of when.
Oh yeah,
is it Skynet?
Well, Skynet is the name of the AI. What was the name of the company that Miles Dyson worked for? I can't remember right now. Somebody will tell us in the comments. Let's see. Oh, we get another quick joke with Gwildor because he dresses in drag in Kevin's house.
These things come in here. I mean, look at this place.
Look. Native clothing. Lots of it. All over the place. If we dress like this, no one will recognize us.
What the hell is that?
Like the good guys come to the house to help him, and he's like, no one will recognize us. And I'm pretty sure I remember that they all went like, Gwildor. Or at least Man-at-Arms does. He's like, you.
Yeah. How wacky. Just like
we're getting told.
We'll put him in a dress or whatever.
We're being given permission to laugh. Man-at-Arms says it's okay. Oh, Gwildor. This movie just, a lot of stuff just sort of happens, doesn't it? Now that I'm realizing we're recapping it, but it's just like people stealing the key back and forth and trying to find the key.
Yeah. There's a chunk of the movie where it's sort of...
What's He-Man done?
There's a chunk where it sort of is just the guys go here and then they go here and then they're driving in their pink convertible to do this thing.
That's right, because Gwildor steals a car and somehow he adds all sorts of sci-fi technology to it. I don't know where he got that stuff. So now it can drive fast and make lights.
There's no explanation for a lot of this.
It's also funny to me to think that they never really explicitly show it, but I don't think He-Man sat up front with Gwildor. I think he was always sitting in the back of the car.
Oh, dude, he probably couldn't fit in the front.
I just love the idea
and the cape and everything.
I would love to see a scene where He-Man with his sword on the back and his big cape and his huge muscles is just like trying to get into the back of a pink Cadillac. And he's like, go Gwildor. Let's go get the key.
Dolph Lundgren said this was a painful shoot and it lasted for like 5 months. And
he didn't like doing
he doesn't change outfits. He's in that outfit the entire movie. The shoulder
pads. He never put on Earth clothes or anything.
And even though he has a cape, he's basically a guy in underwear. And that would just be weird to be like, I'm just on set 12 hours a day in my underwear.
That's why it's funny. Like a little while later, all the good guys have gathered. They're trying to, they've used little bits of technology and Kevin's synthesizer, and they're going to like fix the key. And Lubbock, I think that's where he first comes across them. It's either there or in the music store, but he comes across all these Eternians, including He-Man. Oh no, it was at the music store. Excuse me. It's at the music store. The Eternians all come in, and this guy is like in a Speedo, and Lubbock is just sort of like, hey, what are you guys doing here? He's not like, what the hell are you wearing, dude?
Yeah. It's like another night. It's just another.
We don't even get.
He must see some crazy shit as a detective working in the city every night, or the suburbs of Burbank, wherever they're at.
But it's, most movies would at least give us the somewhat cliche joke like, hey, where's the costume party, pal?
Right.
He doesn't even do that. And then he pulls a gun on them.
Yeah.
And I was sort of like wondering, I go like, is He-Man in this bulletproof or anything? I wonder. Who knows?
I have no idea. They don't explain
what his power level is.
They don't explain much, Chris.
No.
As shocking as that is to reveal, they don't.
really good joke here, though, or at least a joke that Tila is proud of. So Lubbock has pulled the gun, right? She, sort of like elbows him or something, and she goes,
Woman at arms.
Oh,
and no one reacts. But she's got a big smile. Woman at arms.
Yeah.
Do you know that this actress, she married Scott Bakula? She's been married to Scott Bakula forever, I guess. Yeah. It's kind of cool. Good for her.
She's fine. She's good in this.
She doesn't have a lot to do.
Yeah. Neither does Man at Arms, man. He's just kind of there.
I will say that Man at Arms feels sort of gruff and he's got a bit of personality somehow. There's a charisma to Man at Arms, even if he doesn't have much to do.
Right.
They definitely are just sort of around to fill up that there's a group of people around He-Man, that it isn't just He-Man running around the town by himself. But you're right. They don't have a lot to do.
Oh, before I forget, man, did you pick up there's an odd joke in the movie, an odd thing when He-Man first rescues Julie.
Yes.
And Man-at-Arms and Tila show up. There's an exchange between Tila and He-Man where he says something like, "Did you find Gildor?" or something? And she's like, "No, we didn't. We weren't quite as lucky as you." And she looks at Julie.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, wait, is Tila alluding to she thinks He-Man hooked up with this 17-year-old girl, or or he found a pretty girl? But there's this kind of odd,
there's a jealousy
almost. Yeah.
Did you have any luck?
Not as much as you, apparently.
We're tracking from Spinwood.
And you're right. Nothing anywhere else in the movie to imply that there's a romantic interest on either side. But you're right. Just that one scene, she's like, "Oh, not as lucky as you." And it's
yes.
"Oh, I'm sorry. Are you interested? Why don't you just speak plainly?"
Yeah. And like you said, it's never addressed again that maybe there was this attraction between He-Man and Tila, or they had a thing going on. But I mean, this movie doesn't have time for a romance for He-Man.
Jim, I beg to differ. It has the time, because this movie is an hour and 45 minutes. It's quite long for what it is.
It is a long movie for what? Oh, the romance is between He-Man and Skeletor at the end when He-Man becomes his slave and is
true.
Being whipped. That's a whole other story, guys. That's a whole other part of the movie.
Well, kind of almost there, because the bad guys attack the Eternians at that music store. There's a big laser fight, whatever. Courtney Cox thinks she sees her mom out in the alley behind the store, and she goes out. Of course, it's Eva Lynn doing, a spell, and she tricks her into getting the cosmic key.
Listen, darling, your new friends are all tied up with the work we're doing, and they have something we want. That shiny metal thing with the blinking lights.
Thank you, my darling.
No! Totally fine. But this means that now Skeletor has everything he needs. I would have thought he could just abandon He-Man on Earth at this point, right? Have the cosmic key brought back to him, and He-Man would have no way of ever fighting him again.
Right, he's trapped on Earth forever.
Yeah, eternal. For some reason, Skeletor comes to Earth with a humongous army. He comes on a big Mardi Gras float.
Yeah.
I was ready for him to start chucking out beads.
Yeah, be amazing.
But yeah, and there's some fighting, whatnot. All that matters is that ultimately He-Man basically surrenders to Skeletor because otherwise his friends would get hurt.
Return with me to Eternia as my slave and save their despicable lives, or perish with them on this primitive and tasteless planet. Surrender your sword.
Yes, exactly.
And you're right. Like He-Man is chained up in Castle Grayskull, and yeah, a little sort of homoerotic subtext there, where Skeletor saying like, kneel before me, And
yeah,
like, it's a little weird. It's a little weird.
There's reviews of this movie on YouTube. I mean, there's tons of behind the scenes stuff on this, and every snarky YouTube reviewer is like, and then we have the BDSM scene with Skeletor and He-Man, and or the insert whatever sexual jokes you want, dominatrix jokes. Well, especially the whipping part.
When they start doing the whipping with like a laser whip, of course, like at first they did not tell Dolph Lundgren what he was supposed to be doing, because he barely reacts at first. It's like, I know he's supposed to be strong, but he's supposed to be getting tortured, and he's just sort of like, it's about that level of like a reaction. Everything in this is so muted. People see things and they're just like, weird.
Yeah, and you can tell they didn't have time to do numerous takes on things or develop things. It's like we have to shoot and just keep going. And
I will say, if you follow movie structure, you're supposed to end the second act with the heroes at their lowest point. And they do a good job of that. Like He-Man has been captured. The bad guys have left the rest of the heroes trapped on Earth with a broken cosmic key. Mm-hmm. And Julie got zapped by a Skeletor spell. She's got like some sort of weird cysts all over her leg. She's dying.
Yeah.
And I was like,
that reveal gross. Is horrific.
Right?
When they show Julie's leg, it's like, what happened? Oh shit, she's in trouble.
Yeah. You're like, oh, okay, Skeletor has sickness powers. Cool. No, it is gross. It is gross. You only get a glimpse.
Fungus tumor growing powers, I guess.
But they forgot one thing. Kevin plays the keyboard. Gwildor's like, Kevin, the universe is music. He's like, music? That gives me an idea. I'm simplifying things. But yeah, they plug together a bunch of things. He's like, it becomes MacGyver. Gwildor's like, I'll need a who's he, what's this? And Teal's like, I've got one right here.
Yeah.
Gwildor, Kevin knows the tones. Can you get us home or can't you?
Yes. Yes, I think I can. I need a few things. A Masonic Tesseract.
Right here.
An Octode rectifier.
I have an Octode rectifier.
And something to play the tones on.
Wait, I'll get a keyboard from Charlie's.
Guys, Kevin, because he's a musician, remembers and memorizes the tune that the cosmic key gives off.
Yeah.
And is able to replicate that perfectly so that Goldoff knows or what.
All he has to do is play the same musical notes, and if they can, power this cosmic key back up. And he's singing it to himself, and I swear to God, for a minute, it sounded like the McDonald's theme. He's going like, ba-da-da-da-da.
That's funny. Yeah.
Anyway, it works. They go back. I forgot one piece I want to jump back to. So originally, He-Man and his friends escaped with the cosmic key, and they're on Earth, right? And they go, He-Man, what's your plan? He goes, we go right back to Castle Grayskull with the element of surprise. And I go, that is not a plan, dude. That is not a plan.
Yeah.
A plan would be we teleport back to Eternia and break out, my warriors from, or get some allies from over the hills in the mountainous regions of the giants. That would be a plan. He's like, we go right back where we were, but this time we surprise them. I'm like, no, that's not a plan. But that is, in fact, basically what the good guys do here, is that they go right back to Castle Grayskull.
Yes. And Chris, you and I know why that happens. It's because they could only afford to build 2 sets in this entire movie. You know, we have Geldor's little hut, which we see, which is kind of impressive. We have obviously the big throne room of Castle Grayskull.
Yeah.
And then that's sort of it. Everything else, I think, is practical. Like the music store is actually a real music store.
Right. Or Eternia.
Julie's house is a house.
Yes. And Eternia is represented by just going out into the desert in California.
Exactly. Completely.
What's that big famous rock that has been filmed in, Star Trek and Batman and all that? I'm almost surprised they didn't use that location, that really famous one rock.
I know exactly what it's on the tip of my tongue. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
People will.
It's a famous location.
Yeah. But they're definitely filming somewhere near there in the desert. And that's just Eternia is a desert. Anyway, since the good guys are there, we're going to get another laser gunfight. But Skeletor has sapped Sorceress's powers, and he upgrades. He levels up to like sort of gold deluxe Skeletor, right? He's more powerful now.
Yep. Real quick, can I say,
please?
Do you remember in Jodorowsky's Dune, the documentary? That gold outfit was a Mobius design.
You're right.
That was going to be used
we'll
in
send that
Dune?
to Jamie so he can put that in, because I know what you're talking about. It's almost like in Marvel Comics and Thor, like Hela's sort of spiky headdress thing. You're right.
Very Asgardian. And so that was designed by Mobius. And even in the Jodorowsky doc, they say all these things were used in different movies. And they show a clip of Masters of the Universe. It's like, okay, that was eventually just used in Masters of the Universe. So when you're seeing that gold outfit, you are seeing a Mobius design on screen, which is pretty badass.
It's not a bad look at all. Like, it looks like Skeletor is leveled up into something more powerful. But hilariously, this is where the movie literally completely ran out of money. Like, literally no funds were coming from Mattel or Canon. But they hadn't had the big final fight between Skeletor and He-Man. So the director took some of his own money, an absolute skeleton crew. The lights inexplicably go out, and it's just 2 guys fighting in the dark. It looks so different, but it's just so that the movie makes sense. They filmed something.
It's such a stark, noticeable. It takes you out of the movie because you guys, the scenery, all the extras, everything goes away. And I honestly think they shot this in like a high school gymnasium or something.
They could have.
And like Chris said, it's just little spots, little spotlights in the background with like little gels on them, colored gels or whatever. And it's just 2 guys awkwardly sword fighting as the finale of the movie.
It's very quick. It's when you know the behind the scenes, it's kind of funny. You're like, wow, this feels like 2 guys in a camcorder just decided to finish the movie. I know that as a kid, when I watched it, I was just a little confused. I was like, I remember I was young, but I was like, was that supposed to be artistic? Is this what some movies do at the end, is they get artistic? Because I just didn't get it.
Yeah, man. It's literally like they were just done shooting, and Gary had to put up some of his own money, right?
Yeah.
He
apparently funded that whole little sequence. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Just so that he could finish the movie, which is so unprofessional in some ways that the movie company like let him do that, that they couldn't find a way to do it, but whatever.
Yeah, it's like they just kind of gave up on it. It's also, I'm sure he had to call in like every single favor that of anyone he's ever known, even though it looks cheap. I mean, they still had to have some lighting, some people.
They had to have a few guys people for like sound and a little light and a camera operator. But, there were no extras. There was no set design anymore. The film quality I think literally looks a little different, like, or it's at a slightly different frame rate. It looks different. And it's just funny to know that they did that. You probably could have like not included it because it's brief, but it wouldn't be satisfying. It would be very weird, like to sort of go from like this big battle to all of a sudden He-Man is sort of knocked Skeletor into the pit. There's also a really interesting line right before they fight. It's sort of poetic. It isn't perfect, but I kind of like Langella's delivery of it. Right before He-Man breaks his bonds, he goes, "Tell me about the lonely," you know, he's taunting He-Man. He's like, "Your friends aren't here to save you." And he goes,
Where are your friends now? Tell me about the loneliness of good, He-Man. Is it equal to the loneliness of evil?
and I go, I don't know. It made me think. It isn't perfect, but I kind of like that line.
Frank put that into the script, and in one of the behind the scenes things I saw, he took that directly from Joseph Campbell.
No.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Which is cool because it's a nod to like the hero's journey and the relationship of good and evil.
Himself came up with pulling that.
But it's also like, this is the most poetic and deep thing in this stupid movie.
That's
at the very end.
My point is that like I was like, I don't know 100% how it relates, but I like the thought behind it. And to know that it came from somewhere real is I didn't know that, but that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I say, he added the most to this movie, didn't he? Because he gave it his all. He put thought into it.
I think since he took it seriously, I guess he also contributed to writing some of Skeletor's stuff or bumping up the dialogue, amping up Skeletor's dialogue and, you know, really adding to the character. And it's just funny that it like, wow, one actor really took this movie seriously. And he's the shining star of the movie. You know, we've talked about it a lot, Skeletor. So
even though they were like running out a movie, everybody involved absolutely was planning on a sequel because while Skeletor gets knocked into a pit, Evelyn and a bunch of the henchmen kind of slip out. So you're like, okay, there's still bad guys around. And this movie had the first post-credit scene I'd ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
Did you stay for it? Did you know about it and all?
I knew about it as a kid, but you're right. I mean, we had never really seen that before, where the movie, the complete credits run.
Right.
And at the very end, we have Skeletor popping out of the water, and he's like, "I'll be back."
So you're like, oh, okay, the bad guy's still around.
Guys, he says, I'll be back, motherfuckers. He says that.
That's the as a kid, you're like, version.
As a kid, you're like, what? Oh, okay.
We're allowed one fuck, and we can still get our PG-13 rating. That's where we decided to put it. I'll be back, motherfuckers.
At the very end.
I remember I was stunned, and I have no idea why I did this. Usually when the credits roll, I stop the movie. For some unknown reason, I don't know why I would have done this. There was no internet to be told that there was a post-credits. No friend had told me. I watched the credits. And all of a sudden, like, it legit surprised me because all of a sudden there was like, it's only like a few seconds of footage, but like all of a sudden there was a scene and I was like, what? And it really happened to me, folks. I was stunned and I instantly started going like, do movies do this sometimes? And so for a while, I was like always watching the credits all the way to the end. And I was like, oh, I guess He-Man just was kind of doing something different. Dolph Lundgren said he would not return, but they did actually sign a American pro surfer to play He-Man in the sequel, but Canon ran out of money.
Which the sequel, Albert Pune was going to direct.
Yep.
And he was going to direct that and then follow it up with Spider-Man, the Canon Spider-Man movie.
Canon was going to theoretically do Spider-Man.
And recycle a lot of the sets and some of the costuming.
Which they did.
None of that happened until, I know you're going to say it, Cyborg.
Yes.
Cyborg. With
1989, I want to say. But with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah.
and they used a bunch of the costumes and stuff that they were building for the sequel, and probably from the first movie too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like one of the very last things I think Canon put out. Albert Pyun. Have we done an Albert Pyun movie before? Did he robot jokes?
Haven't.
Or was that somebody else?
No, that was Stuart Gordon.
That's Stuart Gordon. That's right, Stuart Gordon from The Reanimator.
Yeah.
Maybe someday we'll look at Albert Pyun's Captain America if we're feeling especially self-masochistic.
That's on our list. We are supposed to do that at some point.
Yeah. We'll do it someday. It's not good.
Chris, before we do wrap up, I did want to
I've got a few more comments at the end.
What did you think about the tacked on ending of time being reversed and Julie and Kevin go back to Earth after having a Wizard of Oz goodbye to all the Eternians?
And Lubbock stays behind. Lubbock, we didn't mention it, but he also got transported. And he's just like, hey, I got a beautiful woman. I'm going to stay.
He's like, I have this castle, clean air. I got this hot broad here. I'm staying in Eternia.
Lubick, look at you. So you're really gonna stay here, huh?
What, are you kidding? What am I gonna go back there for? And look what I got here. I got a castle. I got a view. I got clean air. I got a beautiful woman. Huh?
And Julie and Kevin are just like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then they go home and Julie wakes up to her parents are alive again. It's like an alternate dimension or time's been
they
changed.
Do explain it right before that, though. And I've got this stuff written in all caps. Wildor says to them, before he sends them home, he goes, the key can also, it isn't just space, it's also time. I'm like, holy fuck, this changes everything about the movie. This does time travel, and you guys never once thought to take advantage of that?
It literally changes everything. Yeah.
And so he offers, like, you guys could go to the past. And Julie says, no, thanks. And then as they're like transporting back, she's like, no, wait.
Yes. You're
and I'm like, you idiot. Like, what are you talking about? Fortunately, Gwildor apparently gave it a little bit of thought and sent her back like 2 or 3 days, whatever it was, in time.
Yeah. He sent her back the morning her folks were leaving to go on their trip where they die in a plane crash. Yeah. And Julie literally wakes up, is like, oh my God, you guys are alive. And she takes their keys.
Right. Her dad
so they can't
like a small
travel.
Yeah.
But
she and Kevin remember all of this because they literally went back in time somehow, which means to me that there should be 2 Julies and 2 Kevins, but that I don't know how it works. As soon as you start using time travel rules, there's questions to be answered, but that changes everything. Like, forget this, like, oh, let's use it to go back to Eternia. It's like, yeah, let's go back to Eternia a month ago and just be ready for Skeletor.
Sure.
Crazy.
But, the movie has to happen. So we don't.
The movie has to happen.
We don't address that. And
this movie, though, like, I feel like we talked at least as much about trivia and behind the scenes as like what's going on in it and how weird it is.
That stuff to me is way more interesting. And there's also like, I'm a big William Stout fan. William Stout was the production designer on this. Brilliant illustrator, artist, comic book guy. I used to see him every year at Long Beach Comic-Con. Oh, wow. Really nice dude, famous for drawing dinosaurs and designing monsters and creatures. He has a beautiful coffee table art book that I recommend everybody pick up. But there's like YouTube videos and documentaries about him talking about this movie and showing all his designs that weren't used and stuff. And again, all of that is way more interesting than the actual finished movie. But the finished movie is what it is. I'm glad we talked about it. But it's one of those things of when you see the overall big picture, man, you see how complicated and interesting filmmaking is.
That's
and
true.
how much gets lost, how much changes, all these producers and people that like muck up the whole assembly line of creativity.
I think everybody in this was trying. And it's just too big an idea to do on a limited budget. I don't know how you could simplify this anymore to have been better with the budget that they had. I really don't. I think it needs a bigger budget to it's just too fantastical a world with its own lore. And so we'll see, you know, for instance, if this new movie, we haven't seen it yet when we're recording this, you know, maybe that's all it takes is a little bit more money. I was thinking, well, they have to give Dolph Lundgren a cameo in that movie. And as soon as I started thinking of that, I go, you know what? He's almost definitely going to play the king, like Prince Adam's dad, right?
Yeah.
It hasn't been announced or anything, but I feel like, how can you not do that? I'll be surprised if it isn't.
No, you're right, though. He's got to have a cameo.
He's got to at least have some sort of a cameo.
Yeah.
Sorcerers. Oh, speaking of cameos, I know what we didn't talk about. Real quick. This is some of the most interesting behind the scenes stuff to me. So towards the end, it's hold on, I've got a note when it happens.
Oh my God.
A minute 21 in.
Did we almost forget to talk about Pig Boy?
Pig Boy.
Chris, I have the same note.
How
and
did
I
we
was like,
skip
wait,
past that?
we're forgetting something. Team Pig Boy here.
Amazing. The movie starts filming and they did a sweepstakes at like Toys R Us and stuff. All you had to do was just sort of like, you know, fill out an entry form and you could get a cameo in this movie. And so there's an 8-year-old that got a role in the movie. They dressed him up in a whole costume. Like they took a cast of an 8-year-old's face and made a mask. He's only in it for a second. He has the role of giving Skeletor his staff.
Yes. Yeah.
And he's known as Pig Boy.
Yeah.
That kid, like he won the right to be in a movie and a bunch of other stuff like that. As an 8-year-old, that must have been amazing.
Yeah. Hashtag
Pig
freedom for Pig Boy.
Freedom for Pig Boy.
Did you hear about him talking as an adult on a panel, the aftermath? No. Apparently, he claims his face was severely burned by the mask. When the glue, when they took the mask off at the end of a full day of shooting, he claims that as a child he was in like brutal pain and
oh
was
my God
from the glue and was like totally not worth being Pig Boy. Like,
I only heard the stuff like he won tons of toys. They got to go to Disney World or Disneyland and Universal Studios, and they got to be in the movie. I didn't hear about that. There's all these pictures of him, like, you know, getting to be with Dolph Lundgren and be with like Frank Langella and stuff like that. I had no idea that he sort of got hurt from the costuming. I thought it was weird that they took a cast for an 8-year-old. I was like, that seems too risky.
Yes.
A mold of a face.
Wouldn't you think that they would just put like literally just a rubber mask on him and not have to do a mold? Or it's like, dude, you're
there's
in
no
the
lines,
scene
folks.
for 1
there's
second.
no lines. He's literally just there to hand Skeletor his staff. And I've always been thinking that must have been the coolest thing ever as an 8-year-old. But if it kind of hurt, then maybe it wasn't. I don't know. That doesn't seem like a great trade-off.
Yeah. I guess he was brought onto some panels and didn't have much good stuff to say about it. Guys, there's so many wormholes you can go down with this movie and just canon in general. I feel like I do love talking about their movies because, as you know, Chris, there's never just a normal, straightforward like production with Canon. Every movie has like drama and budget issues and people being hurt on the set and crazy shit happening. And, you know, the director of Death Wish 3 abusing the cast and being a fucking asshole. And it's just always something.
And so I guess I'll say, I think we mentioned it before, but maybe we haven't like lately. There's a documentary called Electric Boogaloo: The Rise and Fall of Canon Films. It's an incredible documentary, folks. Yeah, I haven't seen it in a while, but now I'm curious to watch it again because it was like competing with the big guys. You know, they put this stuff in theaters, but it wasn't quite as professional. It was definitely schlock and not very professional behind the scenes because they were trying to sort of bite off more than they could chew.
Completely. Yeah.
It's like they kept getting close to a point where you thought that they were going to make a completely professional, like, or well-received movie. And they just never quite got there. Or if they did, then they like went back 2 steps with like 2 or 3 kind of duds.
Yeah.
Like every sort of good movie that they made, they'd like made a couple bad ones.
Yes.
Very strange history.
This in their last year of doing this, and like I said, Over the Top, Superman 4, these movies were too expensive for what they were capable of.
Yep.
And what a fascinating ordeal, though, the whole thing of it.
One of the most fascinating stories in Hollywood, the rise and fall of Canon Films. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they work with big names, you know? They work with lots of big names.
This one was worth, I guess, check it out. It's fun.
It's free on Tubi, folks. It's free on Tubi.
Yeah.
You may want to compare it to this new one. If you are seeing this because you watched the new movie and the algorithm was like, oh, maybe you want to see this review. I would say it will probably make for an interesting comparison. Just looking at the trailers, it looks like the new movie is giving us all that wild shit. You know, all the sets and costumes and monsters and weirdos. You know, the story, I don't know yet. But
yeah,
it looks like what this would have liked to have done and was like, well, maybe we could do it for just a few bucks.
Yes. The new one, I'm assuming, is going to fulfill all the fan service. Like me joking at the beginning, like the new one is going to have Battle Cat. Like the new one's going to have Prince Adam and whatever you come to expect with Masters of the Universe.
It's interesting that Masters of the Universe has sort of continued to last, you know, that like they've rebooted it because it isn't necessarily like Ninja Turtles with lots of successful reboots, but it stayed in the public consciousness. I wonder how much has been helped by like things like memes or that Hey Ya music video where he's singing the Four Non Blondes song all high pitched and it's just recutting the Filmation animation so he's dancing to it.
Yes, yeah.
I mean that's popular. Like millions of people have seen it.
That's true. Yeah. He-Man, I guess it is part of meme culture.
It's meme culture. It's not necessarily big mainstream, but it's at least meme culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if like my 12-year-old nephew knows about He-Man and Masters of the Universe.
Because he's a big toys.
He's a big Star Wars and like Marvel and DC fan, but there's certain things that, you know, he just didn't. Yeah, he's too young, so I don't know. You know, if this was. I think that
we're also though like reaching a point where the kids today aren't as into toys as we were. You know, they're into electronics and stuff like that. Yeah. Although I have heard that Gen Z is actually more into physical media as sort of because they've grown up in a culture where nothing's tangential. Everything was streaming or internet. And so they're actually like really into manga and comics and records, like physical media. Mm-hmm. I've read that that's like a big difference. And I love that, to hear that. I love it.
Yeah. They're actually buying like DVDs again. And
because you own it and you have it. And
CDs and stuff. That's cool. I get it.
Man, this was fun, dude.
Glad we did it at perfect timing.
Absolutely.
We'll see what the new movie's like. We'll check it out.
Let's do plugs. You go first.
Yes, guys. All my social media, my website, Jim of Food, all under my name. You can buy books, prints, original art at my website. Instagram is my go-to. That's kind of my daily update source for posting and showing what I'm working on. Currently, what am I doing? Lots of variant covers. I can't talk about most of the stuff I'm doing right now, but I will say I'm definitely doing San Diego Comic-Con in July.
Oh, all right.
I'm planning on doing New York Comic-Con like I always do in October. In September, Sean Crystal and I are doing a comic art festival in Montenegro, of all places.
Wow.
Very exotic, I've never been there, so we'll see what that is. And stay tuned to my socials just for all my updates. I'm pretty good about doing daily
You post a lot of art. I loved the piece you drew just the other day of Crow from East of West, the Jonathan Hickman, Nick Dragata series. Like, that piece of Crow was really cool.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, that was a commission, actually.
Was it? It's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. Super fun character to draw.
Yeah. Good series, by the way, East of West.
Real good.
For me, I just have comic tropes. I'll just say comic tropes. I've been putting up a series of sort of mainstream artists with a slightly non-mainstream style. You know, we grew up when people had to have a house style to work at Marvel and DC, but I think we've kind of moved past that in a lot of ways, and it's really interesting.
Yes.
So I'm doing that, and then pretty soon I'm going to do a few Batman artists, and then I'm going to do a few manga stories.
Gonna be awesome.
So
dude, I'm a huge Norm Breyfogle fan, so I'm ready for the Norm. I heard you mention his name and Jim Aparo.
Those are two of my
love
favorites.
both those guys, but that Norm Detective Comics run as a monthly comic is a stellar run of a monthly series, man. So
I
good.
grew up with it. It was
Me too.
kind of formative, and just sort of like a little different. And it's, unfortunately he passed away kind of young. So I think more people need to know about him and some of the cool stuff he created. So I'm excited to get to that. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Jamie, thank you so much for the edit. We couldn't do this without you, brother.
Jamie, we love you. Chris, before we leave, though, I want to say something important to you and everyone watching. Good journey.
Good journey.
Or is that what it is?
Yeah, they do it a little inconsistently, but they don't say goodbye. They say good journey.
Yeah, you don't say goodbye. It's just
good journey.
I was like, is it good journey? It's not journey well, right? It's
good journey.
Good journey.
Anyway,
folks,
keep it trashy, you guys.
Good journey. Keep it trashy.
Trash Movie Bonanza. Like and subscribe. Thank you.